Well, Michael, you've prepared well for this. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Michael, I'd like to introduce you to Heather Clark. She's going to be
Michael was a bit nervous meeting his supervisor and looked down at the ground. Then he remembered his teacher had told him it was important to look people in the eye when you meet them. Michael was pleased that he remembered to smile and gave Heather a firm handshake.
Welcome, Michael.
What pleased him most was that Heather smiled back.
Heather, here's the work experience arrangement form.
After the employer has read all the work experience information and guidelines for employers, she signs the form.
Thank you. Now, Michael, I have explained to Heather that you have asthma and that your medication will be in your bag should you need it here at work. That's something that nobody else at work needs to know about. And you'll keep that to yourself, won't you, Heather?
Yeah, that's right. It's between us. Only we need to know. It's confidential.
Heather then took Michael on a tour of the workplace. She showed him some important safety signs. Each type of sign has a different meaning. Protective equipment signs have a blue circle with a white symbol. Hearing protection, safety glasses, a hard hat. Forbidden, stop, don't signs have a red ring with a red diagonal line. Don't drink, don't enter, don't smoke. Warning, possible danger signs have a black triangle with a yellow background. Chemicals, fire, electricity. Emergency safety equipment signs have a green rectangle with a white symbol. First aid, emergency eye wash, emergency shower. Fire equipment signs have a red rectangle with white writing. Fire extinguisher, fire door, fire hose.
Michael, you'll notice that we've got painted yellow lines throughout the factory. They indicate where it's safe to walk, so it's safe inside the yellow lines, but it's not safe outside the yellow lines.
But why?
Because in this area, we have forklifts operating.
Okay.
Heather also pointed out some equipment that only specially trained staff could use.
Now, Michael, when you're here on work experience, you really need to stay away from this machine because it requires special training to operate it. Michael, this sign tells you that there's some dangerous chemicals on site, but during your work experience, you won't be permitted to use them, so stay away from the cupboard. Okay, Michael, these are the men's toilets and locker rooms.
When Michael visited the staff room, he met Rowena, one of the workers.
Hi, Rowena. Hi. Somebody I'd like you to meet. Michael, this is Rowena. Rowena's one of the workers here.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? So, Michael, that was a grand tour of Lewis Industries. We've shown you what we've got to offer. You got any questions or queries before you go back to school?
What happens if somebody's mean or nasty to me?
Okay, well, in our workplace, one of the primary rules is that everybody needs to treat each other with respect. It's the law, and my job as a manager is to make sure that that happens. Now, if you do get harassed or you do feel uncomfortable, it's a really good idea to tell your supervisor or your teacher.
Hi Michael, how was your day here at Lewis Industries?
Very good, thank you. thank you very much.
Michael also met Pam, another staff member, and he remembered to smile and look her in the eye.
I saw the chemical cupboards, I saw machinery, that's about it.
Hi Michael, I'm Dina.
Hi.
I'm the Occupational Health and Safety Representative, and that means that I help look after the health and safety of the people who work in this area.
Okay.
Now, if you've got any problems, just come and see me. And very importantly, if you have an accident, come and tell me or tell your supervisor straight away.
Okay, thanks.
When you visit the workplace with your teacher, remember, when meeting people, look them in the eye. Have a firm handshake. When you tour the workplace, notice any safety signs and be sure you know what they mean. Avoid dangerous chemicals. Stay away from equipment you're not permitted to use. Walk only between the yellow lines if they're present in your workplace. Make sure you know where toilets and lunch areas are and how to get to them. Know who to go to if you have a problem. Have one, or better still 2 people you can speak to. And remember to smile.
It's amazing what a smile can do.
Sally, are you awake? It's time to get up.
Yes, Mum, I'm moving.
This is a very special day for Sally. It's her first day of work experience.
Here's your hairbrush, Sally.
Thanks, Mum.
It's important to be clean and tidy for work. Carla, her mum, helps her prepare. Good grooming is important for your appearance and for safety at work. Sally ties her hair back. This is important for safety when working with food or machinery. Safe and sensible footwear is also important at work.
Good luck, Sally.
I'll have a safe day. Bye, Mum.
Bye, Sally.
When getting ready for your first day at the workplace, remember to be clean and tidy. Grooming is important, not just for appearance, but also for safety. Tie back your hair, particularly if you're working with food or machinery, and wear safe and sensible footwear. A few days ago, Sally was worried. She didn't know how she was going to travel to and from work by herself.
Okay, Sally. I think we've worked it out.
So Sally and her mum checked the bus timetable and found the best bus times for her to get to and from
The
work.
8:35.
That should be really good and you'll make it to work on time.
Great.
They went to the bus stop near Sally's house and took a trip on the bus together.
So we're going to be going down the hill, and you probably know someone who lives around in this area, so you can remember their street.
Yep.
Good. Looks like our stop coming up.
Yep.
Sally also saw where she should get off.
Here we are, Sal, you right?
Yes.
Let's go. Okay, Sal, there's your work over there.
Oh, yes, there it is.
Great.
And just as importantly, where she would catch the bus home.
Okay, Sal, well, now we've done the trip. I think you know your way to work. Do you think you can do it yourself?
Yes, thanks, Mum.
Great.
Now Sally could stop worrying. This is Sally's friend Joanna. Joanna doesn't live near a bus route, so she goes to work in a taxi.
Here, please.
Now she doesn't always get the same driver, so she keeps a card ready to show the driver her work address on one side and her home address on the other side. That way she knows she'll always get to and from work without a hassle. Remember to make sure that you know how to get to and from work safely. Ask someone to show you where to board and where to get off a bus to and from work. You may wish to keep a card with your work and home address on it. Rick works in a large department store and he knows how to get along with people at his workplace.
I try to speak in a friendly voice. I speak up loud enough for people to hear me, but not too loud that I distract others.
Customer service is really important here at Kmart. We'll get lots of
Rick's
customers
supervisor,
in every
Maria,
day. We just make
is
sure
very
that we
pleased that
always
he's
make
keen to
this
do a good job.
So we always try and put the customer first. Rick's got a great attitude, he's willing to do a good job and he's keen to learn. Yesterday Rick noticed some merchandise fell on the floor. He told me straight away. So just tidy it up, put it back on the shelf. He cares about workplace safety, not just for himself, but for customers and staff as well. That's the kind of worker that we want here.
Remember to look and sound friendly. Speak in a clear voice. Speak at a suitable volume. Be willing to learn and be serious about workplace safety for everyone. Andrew has started his work experience in a commercial kitchen and he's looking the part. Clean shampooed hair, clean hands and short fingernails. He's wearing safe, sensible shoes, no rings or earrings. He's wearing a clean uniform and apron. And he's not afraid to rely on his supervisor, Lisa.
Hi Andrew, how are you going there?
Should I add the milk now, Lisa?
Yes, add the milk to combine all those ingredients so that your arm doesn't tire.
I don't want to get hurt now.
Yeah, that's why we stand on these rubber mats so that your legs don't get tired. That's looking really good. Andrew, remember to come and see me if you hurt yourself, won't you?
I sure will, Lisa.
Fantastic.
In the event of an injury, Lisa will arrange for one of her trained first aid staff to assess the injury and decide what further treatment is needed. Andrew could ask other people, but it's not their job. Always go to your supervisor if you need help. That's the right thing to do. Meanwhile, over in her workplace, Sally had a problem. The plastic heat sealing machine wasn't working properly. She worried she might hurt herself, and she just didn't know what to do next. She wanted to ask her supervisor, Paul, for help, but she just couldn't see him anywhere. Then she remembered. Paul had told her that he was going to be away, and that if she had any problems, Simone would be her supervisor for the day. Simone soon helped Sally with the machine and made sure that it was working safely.
Okay, Sal, I've adjusted the settings to the correct position. It should be working okay now.
All right, thank you.
That's okay.
My supervisor is Paul. If he's not there, it's Simone. Good to have a backup.
Remember that your supervisor is the person who gives you advice and directions. Always ask your supervisor if you need help. If your supervisor is away, you should have another supervisor to look after you. Each workplace has rules. The rules are there to make it safer for you and the people who work with you. Karen works in a nursery. She wears protective overalls and comfortable solid shoes. She also wears non-slip protective gloves. If Karen has to move plants, she avoids lifting and carrying by using a trolley like this. If she has to lift, she always lifts from waist height, and she carries the tray close to her body. If she lifts from below her waist, she bends her knees and keeps her back straight. And if it feels heavy for her, she just doesn't lift it at all. She goes and asks for help. If Karen needs to use a ladder, she only ever uses one of these small 3-step ladders. Ladders, even step ladders, are for access only and are not work platforms. Ladders like this, or higher, are just too risky for students on work experience. Potting mix may contain potentially harmful bacteria. Karen knows it's essential to wear a protective mask and gloves when handling it. Karen always washes her hands before she has a snack or eats her lunch. In Sally's workplace, people protect themselves while working by wearing all kinds of protective equipment, including ear protection, safety glasses and gloves. Sally uses a trolley instead of carrying heavy materials. Notice how she's walking between the yellow lines. Those lines show the safe pedestrian zone for her to walk in at all times. At Michael's workplace, forklifts operate all the time. All the workers stay alert for the forklifts in the workplace, especially where they might come through doorways or around blind corners. If Michael finds himself close to a moving forklift, he keeps an eye on it. He also keeps well away from forklifts when they're loading or unloading trucks, and he stays within the yellow lines. It's also important to know how to behave at work. Rick is careful never to yell or talk loudly. He doesn't want to upset customers or other workers.
Do you know where the CD players are?
They're down the aisle to the left and they're in sound and vision.
Do you have portable ones too?
Yes, we do.
Thanks for your help.
That's okay.
Behaving well at work makes it safer for everyone.
G'day, Rick. How you going?
We all need to be sure that whatever we say or do doesn't make anyone feel put down, upset, frightened or picked on. Our behaviour needs to show we understand how important it is that everyone we deal with feels we're helpful and treat others with respect.
And we do sell a lot of them here at the store.
Oh, great. Oh, well, thank you for that. That's really helped me make a decision.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Remember that it's important for you to know the rules in your workplace. Always use the correct protective clothing or equipment. Avoid lifting, and if you must lift, lift from waist height, keeping the weight close to your body. If it's too heavy, don't try to lift it. Ask your supervisor for help. Avoid ladders with more than 3 steps. Stay within walkways set out between yellow lines. Be alert at all times for moving forklifts. And show respect for others at all times. Occasionally, something may happen at work and you just won't know what to do.
Maria, I got a bit of a problem. I spilt cola on the floor. What should I do about it?
What we'll do is we'll get the caution sign so customers won't slip. If you come this way, I'll show you how to clean up.
Okay.
As you can see, Rick, it's fairly simple. Just back and forth, just making sure you collect all the cola and getting it with the mop. Here, why don't you have a go?
Can you please stay here to see if I'm doing it
Yeah,
correctly?
that's fine. That's it. Well done, Rick.
Remember, if you find yourself in a situation and you're not sure what to do, know who to go to if you have a problem. Ask for help. Carefully watch your supervisor demonstrate the correct procedure. Ask your supervisor to check that you're doing the task correctly. One day after work, Sally was waiting at her bus stop. She was looking forward to getting home to see her favourite TV show that night. But something was wrong. The bus hadn't arrived. She was beginning to worry. She went back to work and found her supervisor.
Excuse me, Paul. My bus hasn't come.
Oh, that's no good, Sal. Looks like you might have missed it. It's a good thing you didn't panic. Don't worry, I'll give your mum a call and I'm sure she'll come and pick you up, all right?
Thank you.
In future, we'll have to make sure that you leave work on time, Sally. And if worse comes to worse, there should be another bus in 10 minutes. And if that doesn't turn up, come back and I'll gladly ring your mum for you so she can pick you up.
No need to panic. I don't want to miss that bus again.
Remember, know the time when you're to leave work. Always leave at the right time. Keep a card with your personal details on you for possible emergencies.